guys, so today I did this blue green halo eye cut crease for you, and please don't mind my voice because I'm sick, but that's not gonna stop me from showing you some makeup tutorials. It's very out there, you know. So if you like what you see and you want to see how I did it, then keep watching. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do is I'm taking my MAC, this is a 210 brush, and it's just like a very little brush. The first thing before anything, I'm gonna map out where I want that cut crease to start. So I'm taking some black eyeshadow, and I'm using Sugar Pill's Bulletproof eyeshadow, and on that little brush I'm going to start mapping out where I want that cut crease to be. So I'm gonna start it right here, and I'm not worried about keeping this too neat because later on I'll go in and fix it. So that's where I'm gonna put that cut crease, and you can see it kind of like stops where my actual crease starts, if that makes sense. Because if I go any lower than this, when I open my eyes, that eyeshadow is just gonna transfer, and that's not what I want to happen. So I'm just mapping it out, putting a little bit more. Okay, and now I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Can you tell that I'm sick? I've had a cough, and it sucks because it gets so bad at night. Like I'm there like sleeping, or at least trying to sleep, and I'm just like it sucks. Can barely get my voice out sometimes, but that ain't gonna stop me from doing what I love. So I don't know why my last video gave me such a hard time. I'm pretty sure it's because of the editing software that I was using, but it just did. And then when it uploaded, the audio towards the end started lagging, and I was like, you know what, forget it. I just uploaded it anyway. I was like, it took so long to edit, and I did not want to go back and fix it, and I just wanted to get something up. So hopefully this time is better, because I'm going to try something different. I'm going to try a different editing software. So alright, so we have pretty much, I mean, it's not perfect. I'm not trying to get it perfect, but more or less we have like our general outline of where we're going to put that crease, put that cut crease. All my brushes they all have some blue and green eyeshadow on it because I was practicing this look. I'm going to go in with another Sugar Pill eyeshadow. This one is called Kimchi, and it's like a, watch, I'm going to show you. This is the palette that I have. This is the eyeshadow that I'm using. And it's called Kimchi. It's like a light blue. I'm going to take that on this fluffy brush, and I'm just going to put that in the crease. Like I usually do, I'm starting on the outer corner, and I'm just going to start blending it into the crease. I don't care if I mess up that line, it's only there for a guide, and later on we're going to go back in with some darker eyeshadows anyway. But I'm putting this all through the crease in the inner and outer corner because I'm going to make this a halo eye. And yeah, I'm just blending it, putting it as like, it's kind of going to be our transition shade, where this is what we're going to start with. I'm actually going to go back in with a little bit more too. Intensify that blue a little bit. And now I'm just going to do the exact same thing to the other side. Just going to take that blue, and I'm going to start blending it all through the crease, going from the inner corner all the way to the outer corner, just like that. Now I'm taking this pencil brush, and I'm going to take Velocity from Sugar Pill. I'm taking that blue right there, and I'm pretty much going to do the same thing, except I want to be more precise with this shadow, so that's why I'm using a smaller brush. I want to make sure I put it exactly where I want it to be. I can still see, I don't know if you can see it, but I can still see that little line of black that we put earlier. Now it's kind of already faded out, but it's just a guide. I'm gonna try to focus this blue mostly where that cut is that I want it to be. I'm also gonna pack some more on that outer corner too. My voice is starting to kind of go away or crack and stuff. So now I'm doing the same thing to the other side. I'm gonna go back in a little bit with that kimchi shadow again. Not really much, but I'm gonna use it mostly to just kind of blend out those edges so they don't look so harsh. You can kind of see the difference that it kind of makes it just look more blown out and more blended. I'm just going in on this side now. Okay, and so now I'm switching brushes to this Urban Decay brush I got from their electric palette, and I'm going to put more black right where I want that cut crease to be. And I'm really going to pack this on, and I'm taking it pretty far down on each side. I'm kind of concentrating mostly where I'm gonna cut the crease because I want that contrast to really stand out. And then when the brush starts to run out of product, I'll take whatever's left and then I'll go over the edges a little bit just to kind of start blending it out, and I'll even kind of use it on its side rather than going in this way. I'll use it this way so it blends out even more. And I'm doing this pretty softly because I kind of used this brush a little bit too harshly on this side, and it kind of took off product from my eye, so it took off the base. So it's a stiff brush, so I'm gonna use the other side of that brush that's not so stiff, and I'm gonna put some more black eyeshadow right there where, like I said, where I want that cut crease to be. And then when it starts to run out of product, I'll do the same thing and I'll just kind of go over the edges where that black meets that blue. And then I'll take my pencil brush again with more Velocity eyeshadow, and I'll go back over where the black stops just to make sure it's really, really blended out. So you'll start to see that it's really blending it out. I'll take that kimchi shadow again with that fluffy brush, and now I'm just going over, and it's not a lot of product, I'm using a little bit of product. And I'm just going back over where that Velocity stops to really make sure that it's all blended and nice. I fixed that little part right here. I just took some more of that Velocity eyeshadow, kind of just dabbed it over where I felt the product wasn't sticking, and it's sticking now. Now I'm just gonna kind of look and eyeball at both of my eyes and see what needs more of what, so I can see like there needs to be a little bit more Velocity shadow on this side because I kind of lost it there. So I'm gonna take some more, just kind of match it up with the other side. I'm not the kind of person who can do one eye at a time. I have to do both because, like I said, as I'm going through my whole look, I want to make sure that I'm doing the same exact thing to one eye as I am doing to the other. So for those who have that talent that can do one eye at a time and make it look the same as the other, I salute you, because I can't. Okay, well, that's what we got going so far. And now, this is where the fun begins. We're gonna cut it. Call it. Are you fucking serious? Alright, so now I'm taking this little concealer brush and that Tarte Shape Tape concealer that I used earlier to prime my eyes. And we're gonna start cutting this crease. And this is gonna be scary because I don't want to mess it up. But it's okay. So very carefully I'm going to start in the middle. Right there. Just kind of make that guide. And now I'll start to... Oh, this is so hard to talk and do at the same time. Why are you not focusing? Focus, camera, come on. And I'm just gonna start maneuvering that product around. To where I want that cut crease to be. And I'm taking this all the way down to each corner of the eye. And you'll see why in a little bit, getting a little bit more. And I'm just fixing it and maneuvering that product where I want it to be. This is so hard to do while talking. And that is what we got going so far. And now I'm gonna do the exact same thing to the other side. Okay, so now that we have our shapes the way we want them to be, I'm gonna take just a little bit more of that concealer again. And this time I'm just gonna put it all over the lids. And I'm doing this just to make sure that the base is really, really light and white, because I want to make sure that it's not, you know, because I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of, since the concealer is mixed in with the blue a little bit, it turned into like a light blue. So now I'm just fixing the color. I'm being very careful not to mess up what we just did. Just making sure that that base, you see, you can already see kind of the difference. I mean, I've already put some over here too, but it's just like a solid white rather than having it like a white blue. So yeah, I'm just making sure that it's all white and not blue on that lid. It kind of also helps to fix it a little bit more too. Another cool trick, like if you've messed up and say you've got concealer and you accidentally like got it somewhere out where the blue is, I go back in with this little brush that I used with the black, and I'll kind of go along the edges where I've messed up, anywhere that I might have messed up, and you can just kind of fix it that way. Alright, so it's gonna get pretty serious now, and I'm going to take my pencil brush that I used earlier, and I'm going to take that bulletproof eyeshadow from Sugar Pill, and this is how we're gonna start making this look like a halo eye. I'm gonna take that black eyeshadow and I'm gonna pat it right on the outer edge, right there. I'm gonna start packing it all along the outer corner. And I didn't set anything on the lid because that's, if you set it, then that eyeshadow won't stick as well. So I'm gonna do the same thing to the inner corner too. I'm not really being too careful with this black, with those edges, because it's not really gonna matter, because there's black on the edges there anyway. But once we get into the other colors, then I'll start to be a little more careful with where I'm putting that stuff. So that's kind of what we got going so far. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so this black eyeshadow wasn't black enough for me, so I'm taking a different black eyeshadow. This one is the black eyeshadow from the Kat Von D Shade Light Eye Palette. In my first video, I said that that one's the blackest black that I've ever used, and I wasn't lying. So I'm just going back in and I'm putting it over where that black was, because this one, for some reason this one ain't going down too good. So I'm taking this one instead. So this is what's going on so far. So now, with that same pencil brush, I'm gonna take some more of that Velocity eyeshadow, and I'm gonna pack it just where that black stops. And you'll start to see that it's starting to blend together once you start packing those colors down. I'm gonna do the other side, right there. The other side, and also you can see like the fallout that I'm getting. It's a good idea to do this when you haven't done your foundation yet. So now that that's kind of looking the way I want it to, I'm gonna take a little flat brush, and this is where I'm gonna start to get kind of detailed, and where I'm gonna really start to be careful because now we're using a different color. And I'm gonna take this another Sugar Pill eyeshadow, and this one's called Midori, and I'm gonna pack that right alongside where I put that blue right next to it. I'm trying not to get this anywhere on that blue. Being careful to only keep it where that cut crease starts. And then, lastly, I'm taking Sugar Pill's Acid Berry, and that's gonna go right on the center. I love greens and blues. They're like one of my favorite colors to work with. Now this side. I'm like not talking because I have to be very, very careful with this. Just packing it right in the middle. Okay, now I'm taking my pencil brush one more time, a little bit more of that Velocity eyeshadow, and I'm just gonna kind of pat it out right where that kind of that Midori stops and that green, because I want it to blend together and kind of fade together really nicely. So I'm just making sure there's no harsh lines too, because I don't want harsh lines in this gradient. And I'll just kind of go back and forth with the colors that I feel there needs more of. And I just keep going back and forth until I'm happy with how the gradient looks. Alright, so I want the center to be a little bit lighter. So I'm taking Thrash from the Urban Decay Electric palette. Try to put that mostly in the center. So, there right here. It's also got a little bit of a shimmer to it, so not really a noticeable shimmer, but something. I really want you to be able to see that contrast from the dark blue to this bright green. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with this little guy. I'm going to take a little bit more of that black eyeshadow, just a little bit, and I'm going to go kind of back in where I cut that crease earlier, but I'm being very careful not to touch where I put that green and stuff. And if you see, it's gonna make that contrast look even better and even more intense. And I'll kind of go over the edges again to make sure it's all blended out. This really makes it more intense. It's a step that you don't have to do it, but I do it because clearly I'm extra. So now that the hardest part is out of the way, I'm gonna do my foundation now. I'm gonna spray my face with my Mario Badescu spray before I go in with my foundation. Just it tastes gross, but it's so good. It smells good. I'm going in with my Urban Decay All Nighter, and this is in the shade 2. Yeah, and I'm taking this little brush again. Now, I cleaned it off, so before you start saying like, don't it still got blue on it? It doesn't. I'm losing my voice here, but I'm gonna start putting that in my face. I already primed my face, by the way, but I'm gonna start putting that all over, avoiding the eye area because this foundation cracks under the eyes for some reason. It's not meant for under the eyes, it's just meant for the face. Also, I wiped my face before I started doing this because, of course, like I said, there was a lot of fallout from all that blue. I'm taking the shade 2 and I'm gonna put that all over the outer part of my face. So it's kinda hopefully starts to help with contouring. These foundations do oxidize quite a bit, so when this one oxidizes, it's kind of like not even my shade anymore. My eyebrows are so shiny. I hate when that happens, but like I said, I ran out of my eyebrow product. That never happens when I have my Benefit stuff, but since I'm out, I'm using eyeshadow. You know what? Forget it. I'm just going in all over my face with this number 3 because I ran out just barely right now of the 2. Hot Cheetos. Take it down my neck, my hairline, even though I hate getting it in my hair. Okay, so now I'm gonna start highlighting my face. Move you up. And I'm just taking my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer again. And I'm gonna start highlighting here, my forehead, my nose, all here. But I'm gonna go in, and since it sets pretty quickly, I'm gonna go in really fast. And I'm gonna start blending it out. Yeah. I'm also gonna put some here. Same thing, I'm gonna start blending it out pretty fast before it sets. And then I'll start to go under the eyes. And I'll start highlighting under the eyes. And I'm going to use the pointy side of the sponge this time. I'm going to start blending that out. Just like that. Now I'm going to do the other side. Since I feel like the eyes are pretty bright, I'm gonna kind of go in and brighten up some more on the face too. Blend it out pretty quickly. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in one more time under my eyes just to make sure that there's no creases. And really quickly, before it does crease, I'm gonna take some powder and I'm gonna set that too, because I don't want my concealer to crease. And then I'll start setting the rest of the face also where I highlighted first. And then after that, I'll go in with my brush and brush away the extra powder. All this first. And I'm using my Airspun, by the way. Airspun powder. Here. On this side. Just making sure everything's all set. Like that. Alright. Now I'm taking my powder brush. And I'm just going to set the rest of the face everywhere that I didn't put that powder down already. But I'm like tapping it first, and then once I know it's set, I'll go in and then I'll start to flick away the extra powder. Okay, so now that the foundation is done, I'm going to go in and do the bottom of my eyes really quick. And I'm taking that same pencil brush and I'm using Velocity. I'm just going to start putting that all underneath the eyes, from inner corner to outer corner. And then I'm going to start connecting it to the top. And I still am getting some fallout, so I'm going to just take my brush, my powder brush, and start sweeping that away. Okay, now I'm going to take my blending brush and I'm going to go back in with some more of that kimchi eyeshadow, and I'm just gonna put that over top of that blue that I just put down, just because I want this to look a little bit more like that sky blue. I'm gonna take some black eyeshadow again, and I'm gonna use that pencil brush again, and this time I'm only gonna keep this one on the outer corner of the eye. I'm gonna connect it from the top, and then I'm going to bring it down. And I'm only going to bring it like halfway. Like that. And then I'll even go back in with this just to blend it out a little bit more. Okay, so here's a little trick that I like to do. I'm going to take whatever product's left on this concealer eyeshadow brush, whatever it is, and I'm going to put it in my waterline. Alright, and now I'm going to take that flat brush again with some more of that acid berry, and I'm going to put that on my waterline. Alright, and now I'm just going to go back in with that pencil brush again and just kind of sweep underneath where that green got. So that way it's just in that waterline. So now I'm going in with my Maybelline gel liner. Yeah, and I'm using that same 210 brush that I used earlier. And I'm gonna line the top of my eyelids, but I'm gonna keep it really, really, really thin. Just lining all the way from the inner corner to the outer corner. I'm also taking this little brush again, and I'm using black eyeshadow, and I'm gonna just set over top where I put that liner really quick. It's just something that I like to do. You don't really have to if you don't want to, but it's something I prefer to do. You can see the difference. It's just a little bit, just to give the lashes some oomph. And I'm also going to take that and I'm going to put it underneath the lashes in the waterline, so you don't see this little pink part of the skin popping through. Now I'm just going to highlight really quick, and I'm going to use this little MAC brush I have. I'm just going to highlight my brow bones. And I'm just using this Jeffree Star highlighter since it's right in front of me. And then really quick, I'll just go back in with my blending brush one more time over those edges. I'm also going to take it on my pinky and I'm going to put it on the inner corner of my eye, right there. I actually want to add some glitter, so I'm going to take this one from Revlon, and it's called Topaz Twinkle. And I'm going to put that on the inner corners of my eyes too, just a little bit. Just to bring some sparkle into the eye. Okay, so I've already popped on my lashes, and now I'm going to contour my face with my little powder mix that I have here. I'm just going to start right here, and I'm going little circular motions. And then I'll go over my forehead, and I'll start at the outer parts right here. But yeah, I'm just gonna go around the face, and then with whatever product's left on the brush, let's see, I'm gonna go and pinch my brush, and then I'll start to go over my nose. And I'll start contouring a little bit and bringing warmth back into the center of the face too. So I'll go on each side of my nose, then I go underneath the nose, and I'll go right on top, just right there, to make it look like it's a little more upturned. And then whatever's left I'll take on the nostrils, because those are kind of white too. And then I'll also take some more product, and I'll put that just on my chin and on my jawline. And now I'm taking this Tarte blush, and it's called Party. And I'm going to take this little brush, it's like an angled contour brush, and I'm going to start putting that on the apples of my cheeks, and then I'll brush it back. This is my favorite blush. It's so beautiful. Sometimes I get a little heavy-handed with blush, but that's okay because I love blush. Since it's kind of much, I'm going to go back in with my powder brush, and I'm just going to go back over it a little bit. And I'm also going to start highlighting my face too, using that same Jeffree Star highlighter. And I'm just going to go on the highest points of my cheeks. And then with my pinky, I'm going to take some more, and I'm going to put it just on the tip of my nose, like that, and down the bridge of my nose. And I'm not taking it all the way down, I'm stopping where I put that contour. Alright, and now I'm just going to line my lips really quick, and I'm using my NYX Slim Lip Pencil, and I'm pretty sure it's a natural. And I'm just going to line my lips, and I am overlining. I'm going to follow my natural lip line. I'm just going to overline a little bit down. I'm going to keep it still first, and I'll go down the sides of my lips. And now on the bottom, I'm going to start in the middle, and then from the corners of the mouth, I'll connect them. Okay, so now I'm taking this little mini lipstick from Tarte that came with that blush, and this one's in Birthday Suit, and I'm just going to put that on my lips over top everything. I'm keeping the lips nude because this look is so intense, so I didn't want a bold lip either. And now I'm just going to spray my face with my Mario Badescu spray one more time. And that's it. We're done. Alright, so that's it for this look. My camera died, so I took a trip to the grocery store and I'm back. But yeah, that's all. So if you like this look and if you want to see more from me, then show some love and subscribe and like and all that jazz. But thanks for watching if you've watched through the whole thing, and I'll see you next time.